Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping straight into, well, the thick of things in Chiang Mai. It's amazing how much can happen in a city like that in just, 12 hours. It's constantly buzzing, changing. And our goal today is basically to get you right up to speed. We're looking at the key local news from Chiang Mai specifically for July 8th, 2025. We've got this stack of local reports, news highlights, articles, everything we need to really see what's going on. So the mission. Simple. We pull out the important bits, connect the dots for you, give you a clear picture, weather, culture, all of it without, drowning you in information. Just what happened and why it matters. Ready? Okay, let's unpack this Chiang Mai stack. First up, and this is pretty immediate, it can be a bit concerning if you're there or heading there soon, is the weather. We're talking tropical storms impacting things.
Yeah, and what's really striking here, it's not just the storm itself, Danis, but the sheer scale of the warnings. It goes way beyond Chiang Mai City. So Tropical Storm Danis is really boosting the southwest monsoon. That means heavy rain. We're looking at a 70% chance of thunderstorms for Chiang Mai and other northern provinces. Officials have put out warnings, clear warnings, for flash floods, rough seas. That's through July 9th. But then there's this broader alert, too. The Department of Disaster Prevention, they've flagged 33 provinces, Chiang Mai included, obviously. They're warning about severe floods, reservoir levels acting erratically, mudslides, and that alert runs right through until July 12th. So it's a significant regional weather system we're seeing.
Wow, 33 provinces. That's serious, the scale of it.
Yeah.
So, okay, beyond the warnings, what are people actually doing on the ground? Are they just sort of waiting it out?
Oh, no, not at all. There's actually a lot of activity. It's quite heartening to see. With the river levels rising, you've got volunteers working alongside the municipal crews. They're out there putting up sandbag barriers along the Ping River, especially in those areas known to be vulnerable, like near the night bazaar. These aren't just for show. They're real, practical steps to protect homes, businesses, key infrastructure. It shows real community readiness.
That's good to hear, that proactive spirit. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Moving from the literal environment to public health, there's another important update for you here, something the city's keeping a close eye on.
Right. And this really highlights a challenge. For popular places, tourist spots. How do you share health info quickly without causing panic? Especially with diseases that might have stigma attached. So Chiang Mai's Provincial Public Health Office, they've stepped up their Mpox monitoring significantly. They have confirmed new cases, and they've put out a public alert pretty quickly, basically urging everyone, residents and visitors, to be vigilant, take safety precautions, and crucially, to seek medical advice. If, any symptoms show up, their communication seems quite proactive, trying to strike that balance.
Yeah, sounds like they're definitely staying vigilant, which you need in a busy city.
Yeah.
But okay, so it's not all alerts and health warnings. There's actually some really nice news, too. Something quite promising for nature lovers, especially with all this talk of monsoons and rain.
Yes, this is quite special. Amidst all the monsoon pressure, there was a rare sighting of a serow, the goat antelope, right up on Doi Luang in the Chengdao Wildlife Sanctuary. Seeing something like that, especially now, it suggests more than just general resilience. It hints that maybe the local ecosystem there, the habitats, they might be more robust, more adaptable than we might even think. It's a really positive sign about the inherent strength of that specific sanctuary.
That's amazing. A great reminder of nature's resilience, isn't it? And speaking of local practices and the environment, there was a traditional ceremony recently. And it has these interesting ties back to the very weather we've been discussing.
Exactly. On July 8th, the annual Lean Dong ceremony took place. It's also called Pusayase. It involves forest planting and a spirit ceremony up at Doi Suthapui National Park. And its whole purpose is really tied to the land, protecting the watershed, ensuring good rains for the area, beneficial rain. What's interesting is how this ancient tradition, while deeply spiritual for many, also sparks some modern debate. Discussions around its environmental practices and impacts. It's a fascinating point where tradition meets contemporary ecological thinking, shows an ongoing conversation in the community.
Interesting how those old traditions keep evolving, or at least are viewed through modern lenses.
Correct.
Okay, let's pivot now towards how the city is changing physically, infrastructure, accessibility for travelers, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and this is a great example of how regional travel hubs are always shifting. Chiang Mai is definitely part of that. Myanmar Airways International, MAI, they've announced their Phnom Penh route is moving. It's relocating to the new Techo International Airport starting September 9th, 2025. And the key part for people flying to or from Chiang Mai is that their flights are expected to make that same switch later in the year. So it's not just about a new building, it reflects those bigger shifts in Southeast Asian air travel and how Chiang Mai stays connected within that changing network.
Right, good info for travelers to keep in mind for later this year. And sticking with big projects, this next one touches on something that's been discussed in Chiang Mai for a long, long time, the idea of a cable car for Doi Suphep. What are the main points of tension there? What's really at stake?
Well, this really gets to a core question, doesn't it? Balancing progress, modernization, with preserving heritage, both cultural and natural. You see this debate everywhere. But for Doi Suthep, it's particularly intense because the mountain is both, a stunning natural park and a deeply sacred place. So proponents of the cable car, they argue it would make access much easier. Think elderly people, people with disabilities. They also say it could reduce traffic on that winding road up, maybe cut down on pollution from cars and buses. But then the critics, they have serious worries. They're concerned about the visual scar on the mountain, this sacred landscape. They see it as an intrusion. And they also raise fears about disrupting the ecosystem up there, the environment, and maybe even the quiet spiritual feel of the place. It's really not just about transport. It feels like it's about the soul of Doi Suthep, what it represents for the city.
You can really feel the weight of that discussion, progress versus preservation right there.
Okay.
Moving away from those huge projects, let's touch on some cultural connections. Maybe something tasty, too.
Definitely. And it's good to remember Chiang Mai sits within this broader northern culture. So while it's not in Chiang Mai City, the new Aka Heritage Museum just opened in Chiang Rai, nearby. Why it matters for Chiang Mai visitors is it really showcases Aka oral traditions, their culture. It highlights how all these northern cultures are interwoven. If you're exploring the region, it offers this deeper context, a really valuable cultural stop. It enriches your understanding of the whole area.
That sounds fascinating. A good reason to maybe take a day trip. And finally, okay, for the food lovers listening, this one will definitely grab your attention, maybe make you hungry.
Huh, yeah, quite possibly. Chiang Mai's food scene, especially the artisanal side, it just got a really nice new player. It's called Jardison Cheesery. They've opened up near Mae Rim out at Cot Pharang, and their focus is specifically on French-style cheeses, but made using local Thai milk. So beyond just being, delicious cheese, it kind of signals how Chiang Mai's food scene is diversifying, getting even more sophisticated. It shows there's a growing appetite for high-quality, locally sourced specialty foods, helps cement that reputation as a real food destination.
French cheese with local milk sounds intriguing. Okay, so there you have it. In pretty quick fashion, you've got a real snapshot of Chiang Mai as of July 8th. We've gone from immediate worries like the weather and health alerts to positive signs in nature, ongoing debates about development, and these great cultural and culinary highlights. You've got the key updates.
Exactly. And if you connect all these dots, what you've heard really paints a picture of Chiang Mai's true nature, doesn't it? It's constantly moving, evolving, dealing with immediate pressures like the monsoon, while also celebrating this incredibly rich heritage. It operates on many levels simultaneously. So maybe something to ponder as we wrap up. What does it really mean for a city like Chiang Mai, a place trying to grow, to modernize, embrace global connections, while also holding on to its unique natural beauty, its deep cultural roots, especially when facing things like climate change impacts and development pressures right on its doorstep? It's that balancing act, really, that will shape its path forward.